Hello everybody, today I have this Freightliner Cascadia. I'm going to show you how to replace the brake pads. This particular Freightliner Cascadia has Bendix calipers. The process that I'm going to show you is going to be very similar to all trucks with Bendix calipers, including Kenworth, Peterbilt, Volvo, International. It doesn't matter what kind of brand they are or model, as long as they have Bendix calipers on them. The first step is to chock the wheels, and that's the most important step. Always safety is very important, remember that. The next step is to jack the vehicle. You can use a bottle jack to place it right here on the front axle. Make sure to look for a flat surface like this on the axle to prevent any accident. The vehicle is up. Now I can easily move the wheel. Make sure that there is enough clearance from the floor. So the next step will be to remove all the wheel nuts using a 33mm socket and a impact gun. Now we can easily remove the wheel, and now we have access to the brake caliper. As you can see, this is the reason why I'm going to replace the brake pads. You see they're really low, extremely low. They're almost touching the rotor, so this is really bad. That is the main reason why I'm going to replace these brake pads. So before starting this job, there is two things that you need to check. The first one, to check this boot over here. You see how it is? It's like a sucker in. It has to be like that. It's like a under vacuum. It has to be under vacuum. If you see then this piston or the other pistons are like puffy like that, like they are open, like they have air inside, that means then this seal is bad and needs to be replaced. But I think they don't sell a service kit to replace the seal, so you have to buy the entire caliper. I'm not sure about it, but anyway, that's one of the things that you need to check. You need to check for play on the piston. See, it has play, which is okay. That means that it's not stuck. That means that everything is alright. Also, almost forgot to mention, you gotta look for play in here. Play in the caliper. You hear it? So you have to have play. If the caliper doesn't have play at all, that means that there is something wrong with the pistons, pins over here. Okay, so I know that my caliper is in a good condition. So now what I'm gonna do is to remove this boot over here, this one right here, with my hand. Basically, that is a dust cover to cover this adjuster pin. This is the adjuster nut, we can call it. I don't know the name actually of this. Anyway, this is the one we're going to use to remove the brake pads from here. So what we're gonna do is to rotate this pin, this nut, to the left like this. I'm going to continue doing the same until the caliper piston is completely open. This, as you can see, it is fully open. If for any reason you apply extra force to this nut over here, it will break. It is designed to break, so when you feel that this is getting tight, stop right there so you don't break it. So now we can easily see the play of the caliper. You can see it has to be freely like this. Make sure to check that before replacing the brake pads, to prevent any problems with your new brake pads once they get installed. Okay, now to remove the brake pads, we have to remove this pin right here, and this one has a cotter pin right here. In this case, if the cotter pin is in a different position, push this little thing, this a plate over here, push it down, and meanwhile you're pushing down with one hand, with the other one, switch the position of the current pin to see it in this position, as you can see right here, with those little pins facing down, and this like a heart facing up. So I'm going to use the screwdriver right here, and I'm gonna do some pressure like this to get it out. and that's it. And now I just get it out easily with a small effort. And now the next step is to remove this pin. But remember to remove this washer over here. This is a washer over here, so I'm gonna remove it. Now is to press this plate down like this, and with the other hand we're going to remove the pin completely. Once it is removed, we can easily remove this plate with no effort at all. And the brake pads, we can easily get it up like this. See? The same with the other one, easily. Once you remove the brake pads, you can inspect the rotor for excessive wear. If you see that the rotor has an excessive wear, replace it. In this case, to replace this rotor, you have to remove the entire hub out. You have to remove the hub nut over here and take the whole hub nut. You have to replace the seal, the wheel seal. Anyway, if the rotor is in a good condition, we can install the new brake pads on the caliper. Here I have the new brake pad kit. Here is the part number. This is an aftermarket brake pads. The original brake pads for this caliper are going to be Bendix, but this is an aftermarket, which is cheaper. It's like $80–90 cheaper than the Bendix, and they work well. The brake pad kit comes with the hardware kit with all the plates and the pins and the new adjuster nuts for the calipers. As you can see right here, this is the adjuster nut for the caliper, and with 4 brake pads. Now you can see the difference between the brake pads. These are the old brake pads and these are the new brake pads. As you can see, there is a big difference between them. They're completely destroyed, and that's the reason we are going to replace them. So the first thing, I'm going to open this plastic cover. The next step is to compare the brake pads to see if they're the same. You can see they're exactly the same, there is no difference. But very important, before opening the plastic, do a visual compare just like that, because if you open the plastic, it will be hard to return the brake pads if there are not the right ones. Now I'm going to open this hardware kit, and I'm going to install these plates in the brake pads right here. They go right here. Easy. And now the brake pads are ready for installation, so I'm going to need this plate over here, the new pin, the new washer, and the new color pin. We need all this to install the new brake pads. Now I'm going to install the first brake pad. If for some reason the brake pad is getting tight, once you are slicing it down like this, you gotta clean the surface right here with something, and you also can apply some grease to lubricate the area. The brake pad is already in place, as you can see. It is free, it has to be free like this, you have to have plate. You can apply some grease to the caliper pistons, as I did, if you want. This is optional, but applying grease can reduce a lot of noise from the calipers. So now I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to install this other brake pad, but in this case the brake caliper retracts, so I have to push it with one hand, and with the other one insert the new brake pad. I'm going to apply some grease too in this contact area and this other contact area over here, but make sure that there is no grease on the friction area over here. With the 2 brake pads in place, now I can install this bracket like this. I can apply some grease in this area for lubrication. This will reduce a lot of noise coming from the brake pads. Also, I'm going to apply some grease on these springs and in this orifice where the pin goes right here. And now I'm gonna press it down all the way, and I'm gonna insert the pin. With the pin on place, I'm going to insert the washer and the cutter pin. And make sure that it's locked like this, and that'll be all. This is all the processing you need to do to replace the brake pads. And now it's time to adjust the brake pads. We're gonna use the same 10mm wrench, and we're gonna rotate it to the right like this. In this case, it won't make any noise, as you can hear, and you're going to see that the brake caliper pistons are going closer to the brake pads, as you can see, until it stops. See, now it's tight, I cannot move it. So to adjust the brakes, after replacing them with new ones, I gotta switch the rotation of the wrench to the left. So now I'm going to rotate the nut right here 3 clicks. 1, 2, and 3. And now the brakes are completely adjusted. Now they have to have some play. It has to have some play, so check for play like this. As you can see, it has play, and if it doesn't have any play, that means that there is something wrong with the replacement. So you can remove everything or inspect what's wrong or readjust the brakes again. So in this case, the brake pad replacement is done, completely done. So now it's time just to put the tire back together and tie the nuts, and I'm going to repeat the same process with the other side, the other brake pads. Very important, double check all of this. Check the cutter pin position, check the pin, check everything in the proper position. If you see anything wrong, remove everything again and reinstall it to prevent any damage to the brake pads components or the brake rotor. I also forgot to mention that the new kit, the new hardware kit, comes with these dust covers and a new nut adjuster for the brake caliper, so you can remove the old one and install a new one. And now we can install the new dust cover easily. The last thing to do after replacing the brake pads is to press the brake pedal 3 times or more to get all the brakes, both sides, completely adjust, and that will complete the process of the brake pad replacement on a Freightliner Cascadia or a truck with Bendix calipers and Bendix brake pads. So it's going to be very similar, the process. That's all you need to do to replace the brake pads. Make sure to check the caliper, move them, and the free play after replacing the brake pads. That's very important to check, because if you replace the brake pads and the caliper doesn't move, that is going to cause excessive wear of the brake pads or uneven wear of the brake pad. And also you can feel different noises or vibrations while you're driving the truck, vibration on the steering wheel or on the foot pedal. So make sure to double check the free play of the caliper and the free play of the piston of the caliper. That's very important, and that doesn't matter what type of caliper you are working with. No. So this is all I'm going to be showing you about the brake pads replacement on a Freightliner Cascadia. If you want to send some support to my channel, you can check the video description below for details how to send support to my channel, so I can continue helping owner operators, mechanics, drivers, or anybody that works on trucks. If you have any questions about this video, you can comment below and I will answer them as soon as I can. If you have anything to add to this video, suggestions, recommendations, you can comment below as well. Everything is welcome in this video. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you for watching.